Okay, some more problems from section 6.1, and this is number 32, more slope fields. So we have 2x minus y. This is 2x minus y. I'll double check to make sure I copied it down right, but because I don't want to do all this and have the wrong equation. That would be kind of a drag. Yeah, 2x minus y, x plus 2y, x minus 2y. Okay, all right. So we just put our slopes in. So we have our table. We just have to figure these out. So 2x would be negative 2 minus a negative 1 would be positive. So negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. And this would just be negative 2. And then negative 2 minus 1 would be negative 3. And negative 2 minus 2 would be negative 4. So when you have them set up like this, you can see kind of a pattern there that maybe helps you just have a little more security when you're doing these. Now, again, when it's 0, it's just going to be these values. So this is going to be negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Because this is going to be a 0 term, except for minus. Huh. So that's going to be negative y. So that's going to be positive. That's going to be 0 and negative and negative. It's messed up there. Okay. Alrighty. And then when this is 1, 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 2 plus 1, that's 3. And then 2 minus 0 is 2. And then 2 minus 1 is 1. And 2 minus 2 is 0. Okay, so that's what we got. Okay. So let's get to work here. So we'll start over here when x is minus 1, and we start with a negative 1 slope. So now that's negative 1, so I'll just try to make it parallel. Boy. Jeez. Suppose there's a kind of illusion here. So I guess it looks like a diagonal there. Okay. And then now it's negative 2. Now I got a guideline here, so I'll go to the half point mark here, and I'll go down like that. That'll give me a negative 2. Kind of split that. And negative 2 there. And the next one's a negative 3, so again we're going to go now to a third. And use that as a guide. I'm all proud of myself because this is a pretty good technique, because I always have trouble showing that these things get steeper and steeper. And now we got a nice 1/4, and you can see that that's going to go through like this, because negative 4 is the steepest. And as you see, you can see that this is steep, steeper, steeper even the most, and steepest. Or steeper more, steepest the most, all right? So you can see how these gradually get a little bit flatter. So that's pretty good. Okay, and then when x is 0, we have a positive 1 slope. That's easy. That's probably the easiest one, especially with these guide points like this. So I've got 1. I got 0. Put that right up there so we can see it a little bit higher. And then we've got negative 1. With negative 1 it's real easy too, because we just got these points here. Negative 1. Because my dogs didn't like that negative 1 slope. And the last one is negative 2. That's at 0, 2. I'm at negative 2. So again, I'll just go right down the middle here and use a guide point right down the middle. That should give me a nice negative 2 slope. I'm going to put a mark here right in the middle here so I could do it in pencil and erase it so it's nice and neater, but nice and neat. Excuse me, not neater. Here we go. That's negative 2. I got that right. That looks like it should come out a little bit more. That looks a little. No, there's negative 2, so I guess that's about right. Yep. Okay, so. All right. So there's negative. There's 1, 0, -1, -2. Okay, and the next one, here it's going to be 0. That's a nice easy one. And then it's going to be 1, and that's not bad either. Oops, sorry, excuse me. Oh, I messed up. I was looking at these backwards. Excuse me. This is -1. The slope's going to be 3. At 1, -1, the slope would be 3. So, one of the great inventions of Western civilization, whiteout. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we got whiteout there. And we want our slope to be 3. Oh, man. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of... I should have put an extra mark over here. These are almost this distance from here to here is 7/8. So if I go 7/8, I get another. There we go. Try to square that off. So that's where the next. That's where 2 would be. I should have put 2 here. And then, if I want to go up a slope of 3, that means I'm going to go up 3 over a third. So I would go about a third, so I could see that. So that's my slope of 3, positive 3. So it would look like that. Okay. And the next one, oh man. Well, I guess I can do it off these two. I probably could have done this other one. Okay, so this next one's going to be a slope of 2. Oh yeah, I can go half. That's right, I can go half here. And connect those 2 points, and that's going to be up 2 over 1, so that would be a slope of 2. Hope you can see how I'm figuring this out. And the next one's going to be a slope of 1. Oh, this is flattening out. Good. Okay. That's easy because I got a guide points there. So this is a slope of 1. And the last one is the 0. That's the one I missed. Kind of flipped. So there you go. Nice professional slope field, if I say so myself. And you can see we do get 0 and then steep, steeper, steepest, okay? So by using those little squares, it helps. Okay, so that's number 32.